Hi everybody, it's Jessica, and this is another edition of Raleigh Rambles, where I process something that I'm thinking out loud and share it with all of you. Today I want to take a moment to just document a small celebration that actually feels like a really big celebration right now. For those of you who read my blog or who may know me pretty well in person or via the online spaces like Voxer, you may know that I've been having kind of a rough go with things lately and been struggling quite a bit. And I think that it's always important for us to celebrate the little accomplishments and little wins and the joy that we can find in our day-to-day. But I think especially when you are struggling, it's important to not feel like any celebration is too small to note. And so that's why I want to share this one today. So I just left a meeting with a coach. She coaches at 2 different schools, and she is ready to start her work with video and thinking about how some of her cohort teachers can use video in their practice, and also thinking about how she can use video as a coach. And she and I have communicated a lot over the last few months in just trying to think about like what she wants to do with her cohort, how she wants to use video. I think she sees a lot of potential in video, but she's not really, she hasn't really figured out how it integrates with the work that she's doing. And, you know, as happens with a lot of us, other priorities have taken precedent for her and for her teachers. And so she emailed me, and she actually said in the email, I'm hoping that it's better late than never, but if it's too late, I understand. And I thought, like, it's never too late for learning, and it's never too late to do amazing things with awesome people. Like, that's kind of how I felt about it. And in some ways, it's quite nice that it's taken this long for her to be able to have this conversation, because I feel like there's a level of readiness now that wouldn't have been there a month ago or 2 months ago if we had sat down to plan what this would look like. She doesn't know what her cohort was going to look like yet, so how could she plan for how to use video intentionally throughout that work? So in any event, I had a chance to meet with her, and it's always just nice to meet with great people who are really fun to be around and who have great ideas, and who are also just really appreciative and thankful for your time and your efforts and energy to help them. I don't feel like people need to be overly appreciative of me doing my job, because they're doing me a favor just by letting me do my job and helping me to do it really well because of their great ideas. But it never hurts to have somebody to really appreciate you and to feel valued. And I left that meeting just now feeling really, really excited, and all like the sort of words that kept running through my mind were, it feels really good to help people. I like helping people. And I don't know that I've felt like I'm helping people in a really long time. And it felt really nice to walk away from a 45-minute meeting with somebody and to feel like my bucket had gotten filled by that interaction. And you know, I've been trying to sort of think since leaving the meeting, what are all the things that cause me to feel that excitement? And I think that, you know, there's more to just the aspect of helping people, but that this is going to impact their work, and that this is not just me helping one person, but it's me investing in this coach so that she can invest in the 10 teachers she works with. And all of them are going to have different levels of readiness, and all of them are going to participate differently with video. But at the end of the day, if nothing else, they are being exposed to this idea that video can be part of your reflective practice, and it can be a valuable tool to pull into your toolkit when you are ready to do so. And it felt nice. It felt nice to be in that leadership position in a situation that I feel comfortable in, but that wasn't the same. It was very different. I was customizing what we can do with video to her needs, and I was able to listen about her work and learn about how they're structuring their cohort and how they're doing their learning labs. And by working with her, I'm learning a lot about professional learning and other ways that schools are employing different strategies to support teachers and ultimately support kids. And that, just all of that is really, it's nice, and I like it. And that's really, at the end of the day, like, that's why I do what I do. That's, you know, my blog, when I very first started in the education blog, I could not figure out a name. It was really overwhelming to come up with a title, and I landed on This Is Why I Teach. And I think that that's resonated with me for a long time, this idea that that there has to be a purpose to what I'm doing, because if I don't feel that I'm having an impact, and if I don't feel like my work is meaningful and important, and not that it has to be important in this like grand scale. I got offered a job a few years ago before moving out of the classroom at sort of the state level, and I had somebody at that level who left me a message on my voicemail and said, this is such a great opportunity. You'll have a national impact. And he was sort of trying to talk up all of the attention that this position would provide to me, and all of the opportunities and doors that it would open, so to speak. And that kind of thing really doesn't appeal to me. That's not why I do what I do. Why I do what I do is so I can help kids, and so I can help teachers. And I need to know that I'm doing that when I'm doing my work. I need to know that the actions that I'm having, and not that every single day you're going to go home and go, yeah, big win, I totally changed the face of education today, or I had this huge impact. There are going to be days where you answered a bunch of emails, and there's impact in that too. And there are going to be some days where you just create something and you're not quite sure what's going to happen with it, and that's also valuable. But for me, the through line of every job that I have, and every time that I get into a place of feeling disconnected with my work or with my life, a lot of it has to do with meaning and impact, and knowing that I'm doing good. And I left that 45 minutes feeling like I did good, and that was really nice. And I felt challenged, but not so out of my depths that I didn't feel confident in what I was doing. I was able to walk in there knowing what I wanted to talk to her about, and be able to listen to what she needed, and just all of those things. It was really nice. And when you're just so stuck in a really dark place, and you're having such a hard time getting out of that, and you move from one dark place to a different dark place. Last week was like the week of disconnected, being withdrawn, and just not really knowing how to just sort of exist. Like that was those were my celebrations last week. Was I got out of bed today, like I got ready for work, I went to work, like I had to celebrate all of those little things, and I still am trying to celebrate those little things because it's taking a lot for me most days. But this week has been the week of anxiety. Today was a really bad anxiety day. I don't know if any of you know what that feels like, but it's much more than just feeling nervous. It feels differently for different people, but for me, like today, skin was crawling, my blood felt hot, but I was cold. I felt really sick to my stomach all day. I feel jittery but tired. Like there's all these things, like you just feel gross, and it's uncomfortable to be in your own skin, and I've felt really uncomfortable in my own head and in my own skin for a few weeks now, and that just kind of sucks. And so to be able to have that time to just do what I do and feel like I did it well, and to just and also I walked away without a huge laundry list of work that's stressing me out. Like I feel like a lot of my work lately, some of it is impactful, but I walk away just with this huge list of things that I now have to go and do, that some of them feel like they're not having a huge impact. And so that's something that I'm thinking about too, is how do I make sure that that the next steps or the action items are the right ones, and that they are prioritized, and that you don't feel like you have to overpromise things to people, that you give them the one or two things that they really need. Because if you're feeling overwhelmed by all the things you're going to send them, they're probably feeling overwhelmed that you're going to load all of that on them at some point. So it just is a nice perspective to think about all those things. And mostly I just wanted to kind of document that that felt nice, and it was a good 45 minutes, and I wanted to celebrate it, and also think about how do I make sure that I have more of those really good 45 minutes, because I left my classroom for very specific reasons, and one of them was to change this system that I believe so much in, but that I think is so utterly broken. And I need to make sure that the work that I'm doing is moving towards that goal. And I know that that's a big goal, and I'm probably not going to be seeing the fruits of those labors for many, many years in that big of a sense. But I still feel like we can have these little wins every day and every week, and that those things move us closer to that bigger goal. And I need to make sure that I'm part of that, because it means a lot to me, and I care a lot about the kids in my district and the teachers in my district, and I want them to have the best, and they don't have it right now, and that's not okay with me. And I want to advocate for them, and I want to elevate their voices and be able to give them what they need now, not what I think they might need at some point that's layered on top of what they're already doing. Like I need to give them what they need right now, and what this coach needed right now was 45 minutes with me to plan out her engagement with video. And because I was fulfilling a need that she had, and supporting her in doing that, it felt really good. So there's my little celebration for today. I hope that all of you had a good day and had at least one nice little celebration in your day. And thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you all very soon.